Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I review the latest movies and documentaries. Today, I'm going to talk about Madam Web movie. If you're interested in this topic, make sure to watch this video until the end and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. This is the time of 1973. In the forest of trees, we see a research team, which was led by a lady named Constance Webb. Despite being pregnant with Constance Webb, she came here in search of a kind of spider, whose health, according to her research, was magic for humans, which apart from treating the biggest disease of any human, it also had the power to make a person much more powerful. With the help of this spider, she wanted to find a cure for these diseases of people, whose treatment is still not possible. She tells Sims along with her that it is believed that there were such people in the forests of these trees, who were many times more powerful than ordinary people. Ordinary people cannot even imagine their speed and other superpowers. And all these superpowers were given to them by these spiders. Sims did not believe her words at all. So he leaves pregnant Constance in the forest, and comes back to the camp, where he gets Constance's notes. The information written on these notes had already told him the truth, that Constance was telling the truth. He takes pictures of all the notes of Constance, and before he goes after Constance, Constance comes here screaming with great joy, because her search was over. She had found that spider, whose poison could kill anyone. She was about to see her happiness. She was excited to see her team members. She was showing the spider that Sims had shot. Sims kills the two members of his team by shooting them. Constance did not understand why Sims did this. Then Sims comes in front of her and says, "Hand over this jar to me. This spider is only mine, and only I will use it." He thought that Sims was trying to snatch the spider jar from Constance, because in all this fight, the gun in Sims' hand was chosen, which caused Constance to be injured. This selfish person Sims does not even think that Constance is injured and pregnant. He just takes the spider's life from her hand, and wants to leave her alone to die. Constance was about to die, and at this time to save Constance's life, the same tribe people whose story Constance was telling Sims enter. Constance was taken to a pond in a cave. Here they wanted to cut a spider and treat it. But Constance's condition was getting worse, because now the time had come when she gave birth to her child. Constance had a daughter at this time, whose name they call Casey. After Casey's birth, Constance's condition had worsened even more. At this time, the leader of the tribe who is currently treating Constance, promises her that whenever she comes back here with her questions, I will wait for her. The scenes now cut from here, and we are shown the present, 30 years later, where Casey has grown up now, and she has worked as a paramedic. That is, it is her job to treat people in an emergency. In this emergency van, her colleague Ben invites Casey to his brother and his wife's baby shower, for which Casey had agreed. After getting off duty, Casey comes to her house, and like every day, she takes out her mom's suitcase from under her bed, and starts looking at her things. Her research notes. Now she was seeing all this. That's when she was called to Ben's emergency. There was a very bad accident near the bridge in the city. A car was lying half below the bridge, in which a man was stuck. A shocker inside the car saves the man's life with the help of Ben, but unfortunately, she herself was locked in this car. And as soon as the car gets disbalanced, she falls into the water. As soon as she went into the water, her eyes opened. She had never seen so many shiny webs before. This was the web of life. This web of life shows Casey her future here. Casey had already seen what was going to happen in the next moment. Before she could react, her eyes suddenly opened and she saw that she had come out of the water. It was Ben who was rescuing her, who was telling her that you have been in the water for 3 minutes, Casey. Now he checks someone, and sees that suddenly Casey's oxygen level has increased from 79 to 89. The same thing is repeated one more time. And Casey asks Ben, "You just checked my oxygen level." But Ben was doing all this for the first time. And before that, Casey had seen all this in her mind. Casey thought it was all her illusion. That's why she gets up and leaves. After getting up, we now see Sims. Sims has become a very rich man. And today he has brought a security lady to his house. These people think after spending some time here, and while sleeping, Sims has a dream. He sees that 3 girls in spider suits are fighting to take his spider. and by doing this, they kill him. As soon as he saw this dream, Sims got up in fear. Actually, that spider was still with him. Because Sims had cut himself from that spider, he had also got the superpower to see the future. Every night, Sims used to dream about his future, how 3 girls will come and kill him. So Sims wants to kill those 3 girls before this day. In this situation, a lady of the security agency lying next to him will come in handy. By giving her a look here, he asks for the code of his newly created software, with the help of which any person could be found through his face. As soon as the code is changed, he holds this lady's hand, injects poison in his body and kills her. We see that today Casey came to Ben's house. He was sitting here in the baby shower, and everyone was sitting and kissing baby Gender. At that time, suddenly a girl says, "Let's kiss baby's Gender." After hearing this, Casey says to him, "We just did this." After Casey, everyone felt strange. Means this time too, he had already seen the coming moment. Before she could understand anything here, Casey calls Ben for an emergency and takes him away. In the emergency, he sees that his co-worker has had an accident, for which she was trying to save her life. But the next moment, he saw his co-worker going towards the truck. She also tries to stop him, but the co-worker gets stuck in the truck. As soon as the moment passes, his truck has an accident and he dies just like Casey had seen a while ago. And after this incident, Casey understands that she is not getting the illusions of a camel, but she is able to see the future for some reason. Casey has already seen those moments, which are going to happen after a while. Sinclair talks to Sims, who had hacked the security software through his hacker. With the help of this security software, he gets access to every security camera in New York. And with the help of these hackers, he also makes pictures of these 3 girls, which used to come in his dreams every day. Seeing the age of these girls, Sinclair understood that these girls are still young. They did not get their boyfriend. Sims thought that they should be killed before they get powers at a young age, so that after getting the powers, it does not become difficult for him. Here, at the time of Casey's death update, Casey was at her house. She was heating her food in the oven, when she suddenly sees that a pigeon has flown away, collided with her window and died. She was seeing all this. That suddenly when the oven beeps, her attention is lost. She looks back at the window. There was neither a dead pigeon, nor was her window broken. Casey goes to the window to see the pigeon, opens the window, and the next moment, the flying pigeon finally sits in front of her window. Casey's opening the window. The pigeon was saved from dying. And with this incident, Casey understood that the future she sees, she can also change it. She was now regretting that she could have stopped her click death, but she could not do that. She wanted to share all these things with Ben, so she leaves the house and comes to the metro station, where we can see that the Sims are already present. Because the hacker has told the Sims that the 3 girls who the Sims want to kill are in the metro station at this time. Here, anyone who was sitting in the train of these 3 girls sees the faces of these 3 girls, sees their faces. The man who was killing these 3 girls in Casey's mind, this is not the Sims. Now she sees him coming from the front apartment to this apartment of the train. She quickly picks up these 3 girls from here and takes them out of the train. As soon as they leave, Casey, the girls could not understand what happened after that. She sees the Sims inside the train, who were keeping an eye on these 3 girls. Casey tells these 3, "You 3 will have to get out of this station soon." But these 3 do not listen to her, and start calling people by making noise. Before anyone comes here, Casey shows these 3 men, in a suit like Spider-Man, coming towards them. That man quickly moved towards these 3, so Casey takes these 3, and goes towards a train. And now that man was also on this train. To save this man, Casey took these 3 out of the train, and brought him to the ground floor. But she knew that the man was still behind her. She was going to take these 3 out of the metro station, that the police officers catch her. Meanwhile, the Sims, who was wearing a spider suit, also comes out to attack these 3. Here, when the police was stopping the Sims, taking advantage of this opportunity, Casey comes out of the metro station to save these 3. Casey comes out and picks up a taxi, so that she can quickly take these 3 away from Mickey Mouse. Finally, these people had come a long way from the Sims, but they did not know whether the danger was completely avoided or not. Casey asks these three for their names, and in the conversation, someone finds out that the parents of these three girls are not in this city. They were talking about how the news on the radio distracts them, where it was being told that the identity of the lady who kidnapped three girls is Casey Webb. Now, the police was also following them, along with the Sims, and to escape from all this situation, Casey now comes to the jungles of Peru with all three girls. Because there were no cameras in the jungle, the Sims hackers could not see the location of these three, nor the location of the police Casey. When they come to the jungle, running away, they find out that these three girls had met Casey at some point. Then Casey tells them that he had seen your face together in the future. After that, a girl named Maddie started laughing, but everyone ignores Maddie's laughter, and Julia says that the man was walking on the roof like a spider. This jumble of hers had cooled someone's mind. Casey now started remembering what was written in his mom's notes. That's why he tells them that he'll be back in 3 hours, but don't even try to leave here for 3 hours. She immediately goes home and opens her mom's notes. It was written about the people of the spider tribe that we have seen in the past. These people had the power to see the future, along with walking on the walls and roofs. The future was visible to anyone. That's why she tries to climb the wall, to see if she is also from the spider tribe. But she fails in this. In this suitcase, Casey sees a photo of Sims with his mom, and she also recognized Sims here, that he is the same man who was trying to kill these three girls. But at the time she was in the jungle, she couldn't live comfortably. She was dying of hunger. That's why these three come out of the jungle and go to a nearby cafeteria. And as soon as she enters the city, Sims's hacker finds out the location of the three of them. Casey now came back to the jungle by car. But as soon as she comes to the jungle, she sees that the three girls are missing from here. She follows the footprints and reaches a cafeteria where the three girls were dancing together. But as soon as she takes the three of them away, Sims, wearing a spider suit, comes here. He had killed all three of them one by one. And the next time, he also killed Casey. Before Casey died, suddenly everything was over. Casey was still standing in the jungle, and she understood that whatever she saw was going to happen in the future. These girls were in danger, and it was necessary to save Casey's life. She wanted to reach them as soon as possible, but unfortunately, before Casey could reach there, Sims had already reached there. In order to save the girls, Casey had broken the window of the hotel and brought her car inside. She hits Sims hard with the car and points to the three girls sitting in the car. When Casey was about to leave, after saving the three girls, Sims somehow grabbed Casey's hand. By grabbing someone's hand, he was injecting his poison into Casey. Casey had saved the three girls. Sims' hacker informs him that Casey Webb, who is saving the three girls, is the daughter of Constance Webb. And as soon as he heard this, his mind was shaken. The three girls had come to a hotel for now, but the three girls did not have parents. She could not take such a big responsibility herself, so she decides to leave the three girls at the police station. But there was also a problem in this. Anya was living illegally in New York. Her dad had already been deported by the government, and if the police find out that Anya is here, she will be deported forcibly. Casey allows her to stay in this hotel, and she goes to the same cafe where Sims was, and attacks her. As soon as he comes here, Sims also comes here while tracing the location. Sims tells Casey about himself, and says that my name is Sims. I want to kill those three girls, because in the near future, those girls will have superpowers, and as soon as they get superpowers, they will kill me. I want to kill them, before they get superpowers. As soon as she hears this word, someone's eyes suddenly open, and we find out that this man was also seeing all this in his dream. She had not gone to any hotel, but she had slept with these three girls. In the morning, Casey tells her about Sims, and why he was after these three girls. Casey says that the three of you have to be very careful and stay together. As long as the three of you stay together, you will be safe. Casey has the power to inject poison from his hand. As long as he holds any part of your body, he will keep injecting his poison inside you. As soon as the poison is injected, your heartbeat will begin to stop, and if such a situation ever occurs, the three of you can save your companions by giving CPR. That's why Casey teaches them to give CPR first, and along with CPR, she had taken many other trainings that were useful in difficult times. She was preparing them to fight. Casey now tells these three girls that all the superpowers Sims has are written in my mom's research diary. Now to get more information about Sims, I have to go to the forest of trees. You three have to take good care of yourself and stay together. Saying this, she leaves, taking the map of her mom's stuff and the forest of trees. She had now reached the middle of the forest, where she meets the leader of the spider tribe. Finally, you have come to ask for your questions. The leader brings her to the pond, in the cave where Casey was born, and her mom Constance died. Seeing this place, Casey looks upset. She says to the leader, I don't know why my mom put my life in danger to come to this place. The leader smiles and says, to know all this story, you will have to go at the time when you were born. Your story started before you were born. Casey's soul is taken out of her body. Casey's soul falls into the water of the pond, and it becomes a web of life for her. This web of life took her to the time when her mom had gone to the forest to find the spider. The web of life showed Casey everything in the same length. From finding Constance's spider, to shooting her, to Casey's birth, and to Constance's death. Seeing all this, Casey could not understand her story. The web of life takes her back in time, when Casey's mom, Constance, came to meet the doctor. The doctor had to tell Casey's mom that before Casey was born, she had a disease that could not be treated in this world. It could also happen that Casey died as soon as she was born, and most of Casey's life was up to 6 months. This news disturbed Constance and Casey's mom a lot. After hearing this truth, Casey starts crying, because she understood why her mom had gone to the forest right before her birth, putting her life in danger. Until now, she has been complaining to her mom that she put someone in danger for her passion, but it was not like that. Thinking this, suddenly her soul comes back to her body. She was still in shock that how did the leader do all this? She asks the same question, but the leader tells that I have not done all this, but your powers have done it. The answer is that I only have the superpower to see the future. The leader replies that seeing the future is the beginning of your superpowers. You can do a lot. With the help of Web of Life, you can be in 3 places at a time and save the lives of 3 people. Not only this, you also have the power to change the future, and not everyone gets this power. The leader says that all your superpowers will come in front of you when you do all this. The scenes cut and shift to the city, where Sims is still very angry about not being able to find out anything about those girls. It is known that before leaving, Casey had left those 3 girls at Ben's house. The 3 had not yet left Ben's house while listening to Casey. But today Ben's brother's wife was about to give birth to a baby. She was in a very bad condition. They did not have time to wait, so the 3 of them went to the hospital with that woman. Now Casey, who had come to Ben's house to pick up the 3 girls, does not find anyone at Ben's house. So she goes to the past and sees that the 3 girls have gone to the hospital with Ben's sister-in-law, where the Sims had attacked them on the way. To save the lives of those 3, Casey stole this ambulance from here and ran away. On the other hand, we see that the hacker of the Sims had greened all the signals on the road. These 3 see that the Sims was standing outside the car. The Sims had a bomb in his hand. No, he wanted to kill those 3 girls with the bomb. Before he dropped the bomb and destroyed their car, Casey came at the right time and hit him with her ambulance. And like this, the bomb in his hand goes under another car and explodes. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Casey takes the 3 girls with him in the ambulance. Casey saw that the 3 girls were running in the ambulance, so he gets on top of the ambulance. Seeing this, Casey says to the police that there will be an electric impulse machine there. Pick it up and put it on the roof. By doing this, the Sims standing above are badly hurt and fall down from their ambulance. Casey takes the ambulance and goes ahead, but her ambulance had stopped under an underpass. And now Casey finds out what was going to happen in the next 5 minutes. She remembers the leader's words that she can change the future. Thinking this, she uses the ambulance radio, and using the medical emergency as an excuse, she calls a helicopter near a building nearby. At this time, they were near a factory that makes firecrackers. Casey comes into the factory with these three, and here they start setting up a trap for the Sims. As soon as Sims comes behind them, in this factory, he is trapped in the trap of firecrackers. One by one, there are a lot of firecrackers, and the Sims had already focused on themselves. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Casey had come to the roof of this building with the three girls, where the helicopter was about to come. He was trying to get the three girls safely in the helicopter and run away from here. But to fail Casey's plan, Sims had come here to distract him. Casey fights him, and they fight and climb on a billboard tower, where now Sims had caught Casey. He was holding Casey's throat, and was injecting the poison of his body into it. Casey was about to die. She was in trouble. These three girls can't see all this, and come after her to save her life. But Sims fights these three untrained girls very easily here, and throws them three separate places. Due to his attack, the three girls were trapped in such a place that there was only death near them. And seeing this, Sims starts laughing, and says to Casey, "Now you go to three separate places, and at the same time, how will you save these three?" As soon as he said this, the leader's words echoed in Casey's ears, that if you want to save someone, then you can be in many places at the same time. Upon realizing this, she uses her superpowers, and the music of Web of Life becomes many more like her, and reaches to save those three girls. Seeing this, Sims was also worried. To stop Casey, he punches him. But Casey was not going to give up this time. She slowly takes Sims to that place, where she saw the face of Sims in the future. As soon as she reaches that place, a big trap falls on Sims, in which he was trapped. And immediately after that, a very big billboard falls on him, and he also dies. Finally, Casey saved all three girls by killing their enemy. But the bad thing was that, due to the fall of the billboard, Casey herself also fought and fell into the water. We see that a light has come out of Casey's body, and now she was drowning in the water. At this time, in order to save Casey, all three girls jump into the water. With great difficulty, they pull Casey out of the water, and bring him out. Then they see that his breathing has also stopped. In this way, they give him CPR, in the way Casey was taught. As soon as they did this, the heartbeat of Casey's heart started beating again. She finally came to her senses. But again a bad news that her body was also paralyzed due to this accident. In the hospital, when the nurse asks Casey about these three girls, Casey says that these three are my family. Hearing this, these three are happy. This incident had paralyzed Casey, but this incident had also given him all his superpowers. Surprised, Casey tells these three girls that I can't see anything now, but I can clearly see the future. After getting power, I see you fighting the enemies. You have so much power that you can't even imagine, and you are never losing to the enemies. She also shows these three a glimpse of the future, in which these three had superpowers, and Casey himself was a medium. And by showing this glimpse of the future, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.